Okay, so I'm going to do a little Photoshop demonstration here to show what I've learned for my major project, which I decided I was going to learn Adobe Photoshop. So since the project has kind of been all related to this imaginary party planning slash cupcake business that I would like to have someday, I just had Lucy's second birthday party this weekend, and she was thing too since it was a storybook themed party. And so what I'm going to do is probably for her thank you notes, I'm going to try to cartoonify. That's not really a word, but I'm going to make her into more of a cartoon and take this thing too out and try to put her into the book. So what I'm going to do is go back to her adorable little picture here, and first things first, you should always kind of make a copy of your original picture and leave it in the back. You can kind of minimize it there. That way it's always there if you need to kind of pull something back out of it. Learn that through experience, through all this experimentation here. And secondly, because I'm trying to isolate her from her background here, I'm going to put in another layer, which you're going to hit this little square button with the folded up corner there and move that new layer behind her. But you need to make sure you're selected on the layer that you're actually going to be cutting. So then to cut her out of the background, you're going to go over to this side here with the lassos. There are different lassos, which is what we want to do. So we're going to use the magnetic lasso. And I'm going to start right here at her hand. Get her cute little tutu here. And we're back where we started. Okay, so you'll see that she is outlined here. And if you hit Control-Shift-I, that selects sort of the inverse of her. Since we're not trying to get rid of her, we're trying to get rid of the background. So it is all highlighted. I'm going to go up to Layer here and down to, where is it? The Layer Mask. And you want to hide selection. So voila, now she's on a transparent background. So now you can see here there's a little bit of cleaning up we need to do, and this is where you can zoom in and fix it. If you hit Control and then the plus sign, that'll zoom in, and Control minus takes you back out. So I'm going to take the eraser here and the brackets buttons. If you press those, you can make it bigger and smaller, but I'm going to stay pretty small here. And I'm just going to Control Z will undo things that you mess up. Go in here, and it's okay that it's making it kind of blocky because, like I said, she's going to be a blocky little cartoon, so it's not a bad thing if it's all one solid color. Okay, let's go over and do this shoe. We're going to do the same thing just in case it's kind of a little bit of a different of a black. Go around her foot. There we go. Okay, so let's Control minus sign gives us a little more. Get back up there. Okay, so now we have her sort of isolated from her background, and what I'm going to do is go back to my little page here, and I'm going to pull in this thing too. Just use the selection tool in the corner there. Select him. I'm going to hit Control C, copies him. Go back to Lucy, Control V, and then if you do Control T, that sort of selects his the picture there. And I'm just going to hit the lock button so that his proportions stay, and I'm going to make him smaller so that he doesn't block, her beautiful face here. So, okay, now I've got my color references. Hit the chin. Next up, we're going to mess with her hair here. So we're going to sort of select around it. Her hair is selected here. I'm going to go back up to the layer, and I'm going to hit a new adjustment layer. And I want to mess with the hue and saturation. So you're going to hit OK. We're going to, can I not select him? Apparently not. Okay, well, we'll just kind of use him as a reference. I think it's a little more, has a little more green in it than that. Okay, that looks about right there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, next I'm going to do her face. So we're going to select all this skin here. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up to layer, I'm going to do an adjustment layer, I'm going to do hue and saturation. Okay, we're going to colorize her. And we're going to kind of turn it up. And can I not? Okay, so I'm not colorizing her. I'm just going to kind of turn up the lightness there. Okay, so you see that, you know, we made her a little bit whiter, but not fully kind of scary white, but, you know, enough to get the point across. Okay. And then once again, I'm going to do those. Okay, and then there are little bits that I missed here. So what I'm going to do is hit this clone stamp. So she's kind of scary and white, but that's okay. Let's go down and do the exact same thing to her hands. You know what, let's posterize her first. That way, as we mess with her, we don't have to try to get all the same shading and everything. Layer thing again, and I'm going to posterize. We say okay. All right, so see how that sort of flattens her out? We're gonna, so see now it's more solid colors there. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in here. And I'm going to take her leg, and since it's got the clear background, I don't really have to be as precise. You don't need to go back to her layer. And I'm going to select from here. And we're going to hit Control C and then Control V and Control T so we can manipulate it. And then we wait till our arrows are bendy like that, and we're going to put her leg. We're going to put her leg more like she is running. Okay, we're going to be hiding it a little with the tutu there. Okay, so that looks good there. And then I'm going to go back here and maybe do a little bit with her other leg. Now I kind of have a little bit of a spider baby thing going on here. That's okay. All right, so we're going to zoom back in. I'm going to go back to her original layer. And we're going to erase her legs. Make this a little bigger. I'm going to get rid of these original. So now what I'm going to do is hide the thing too. Got her there. I still don't like the way that this leg looks. Maybe... We'll leave it there, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to move it down below the original one there. And then that way, see how the tutu from the original now kind of blocks it, and it looks like it's actually coming out from under her skirt. Okay, I think that looks a little closer. The good thing about Dr. Suess is that it's all kind of a little wonky, so if she looks a little off, it's okay. It'll look all the more natural with the considering the settings there. So I'm going to render those down again. All right, now let's mess with her arms a little. I'm going to go back, put thing 2 up. See how his arms are kind of, I can't make them this far out because I don't have enough of this arm showing. It looks really weird when I try to mess with it there. but I am going to at least make it kind of moved up here like she's running. So we're going to select, going okay. She's getting there. Okay. So now let's give her, and look, let's just to focus back on the progress that we've made. Hang on, let's render those down. Let's look back at the original image. Ta-da! And we're gonna put, look how good at this we are. Okay, so let's give her a face back because it's kind of freaking, actually, you know what, let's do the outlines first just so that her face outlines are about the same. Let me see if I can remember where this is. I'm gonna do layer style, stroke. And see, this is just gonna kind of go around the edges. It doesn't go around on the inside stuff, but that's okay. You know what, I want to get this one up so I can see. Okay, so that's his outlines. So they're pretty bold compared to him. So let's try that again. Layer, style, stroke. Move this off to the side so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to make them a little bit bigger. Maybe that's too big. Let's do 3. I like that. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to get back to my paintbrush. Select that color of black, which is not gray, it is black. There we go. And I'm going to kind of outline. You know what? We're going to give her a little more arm here too. A little smaller. Give her an elbow. Give her definition there. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Let's see how she looks in the book. So I'm going to render down those visible layers there, except that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to, there we go. Didn't want to render Dr. Seuss one in there. Okay, so now we got that arrows. We're going to drag this all the way to the top, over there, put her in here. Kind of move her off to the side. All right, so now we need to get rid of this thing too because I have a better thing too. And I'm going to use my paintbrush and select this sort of white color and let's drag her back down here. We're going to make her about the same size. You want to always lock your aspect ratio, I think is what it's called up there. I'm going to try to make her kind of the same angle as this little guy. And she's getting there. Okay, so now that I've got her in here, I'm going to zoom in. It looks like there's a couple things that kind of need to be fixed on her. For one, her tutu outline doesn't connect all the way, so we're going to do that. Make a little bit of black. Whoa, we need way smaller. That's still too big. One if I deaden her opacity a little bit, she's kind of more along the lines of that thing too there. That looks pretty cool, I would say, especially for my first attempt at such a thing. So we're going to, I'm going to Control-Alt-E, render those all down. Now Lucy is a cartoon, her mommy is awesome, and I've got a thank you note